So, all right, social media and digital marketing. So I figured we could start off with something a little bit fun. So what is your best content? Right? You are your best content. You are your brand. If you're a realtor, or if you're an insurance person, or whatever you are your brand. So social media creates this unique opportunity for you to be able to interact with your potential audiences, your potential clients, the people that could be buying from you in the future, and you want to build a relationship with these people. So what is the brand that you want to present to them? So obviously my hair moved from my head down to my face, so I need to update that photo. And so there's a couple of things that you want to try to accomplish when you're putting out content, right? So, I have my open house video tours, which is real estate, right? But then, Middletown Works, this is our, yep, that's right.
That's right.
Our marketing committee that we're working on, promoting that good cause. And then, come on, it's streaming from my cell phone, which is also recording right now, so. And then my wife got me this shirt for Valentine's Day, how to become a better boss, the difference between a realtor and a FISBO. So, it shows off your personality, right? Okay, I'm a realtor, great, but it's not just slapping you around with it. It's, this guy's got a personality, he's got something else going. I definitely want to replace the tie with a bow tie, because from what I got back from feedback from my audiences is people are connecting with that. So at one point I did a video post, and I did a post of me as a baby wearing a bow tie.
Oh, there it is.
There I am. So, all right. So that's the fun stuff. So let's get into the boring stuff. Well, the interesting, nitty-gritty stuff. All right. So your database. So as a salesperson, as a bank, as a small business owner, your business is your database. Later on in life, right, you're getting ready to retire, what are you selling? What do you really have to sell other than a copy machine and maybe your lease? Your database, that list of relationships that you've built over your career, that's what people are going to pay for. So there's a couple of things that you want to do with your database. You want to grow it, and then you want to cultivate it. So there's two separate avenues that you go down on social media to accomplish each one of those things. So how do you grow it? Facebook lead capture, website call to action, and Google AdWords. Those are the new school methods of being able to accomplish these things, right? Old school, direct mail, cold calling, all of those things. But the philosophy is still the same. The medium is just different, right? So I'll be going into a ClickFunnels and showing you how the Facebook lead capture works, and I'll be walking you through a full campaign. So those leads are all going to funnel into your, go through your ClickFunnels, right? So now let me show you one of my ClickFunnels. So this is just a basic campaign I ran for Coming Soon. This is me doing a virtual reality tour through a property, right? So it's advertising, click here for this rare opportunity in Brantford, and you can go and take your virtual reality tour. So this would be the clickbait. This would be the flashy piece of whatever. It doesn't matter, it could be if you're a lawyer and you're talking about a particular type of proceeding. You could be advertising your webinar to teach that audience that would be interested in that content, and you could have some kind of flashy thing to attract them to then capture their email address. It doesn't really matter what you're selling or what you're trying to capture, but then that would land you here. There's the content that I was advertising, right, with all the information, more photos, for more pictures and more. You then click on the call to action, and it would bring you to your landing page, which I'm sure everybody's experienced that before of some type, right? So now you've got everybody in your, now you're flowing everybody into your funnel, right? Come on. So now what, right? So that's your lead capture, that's your ClickFunnels. So now what? So the next step to this is you want to start buying mindshare. Now, what's the philosophy on that? The philosophy on mindshare is that each individual only has space in their brain for 3 brands, for whatever category. So if it's sneakers, Nike, Reebok, and Adidas, there we go, Adidas, you know, soda, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Fanta, Sprite is Coke. Yeah. So, you know, so your goal in all of this is to purchase the mind share of your audience. So when they're ready to make a buying decision, you, through your brand, you know, the bow tie and the hair jokes and the funny picture, you get them to like you. Then you're, through your open house videos or that type of content, you're now establishing yourself as an expert in the content, you know, in that area of expertise, and you're getting them to come to you. When they're ready to make that buying decision, there is no decision, you're the only option. You know, that's the goal of what this stuff does. All right, so, you know, I showed you the click funnel, now you're in my sales funnel, right?
So really, so anytime if I clicked on that video, I have to fill out the contact information. Right?
So there's a couple ways you do it, right? So I gave you the item of value first.
Yeah.
So you want to take this virtual reality tour, and then I have, you know, a call to action where you could, you know, enter in your information if you wanted
But
more.
if I didn't enter the information,
I could gate it too.
Okay.
So they call it gating, and you click on this because you're looking for the item of value. It asks for your personal information first, and then it lands you on whatever that item of value is. You know, so there's two ways of kind of skinning the cat on that.
But you haven't captured my data unless I fill out that form.
No, incorrect.
That's what I thought.
I'm gonna go through this right now. Yeah. So no matter where you are, right, in your buyer's journey, if you're at, you know, 1+ year or 0 to 3 months, I'm gonna be pushing content to you, you know, that's entertaining, that's interesting, and that's educational to accomplish those two goals. You know, getting you to like me, right, and then establishing myself as your expert in that area of whatever it is, whether it's banking or whatever. And then finally, you know, to get you through into your client acquisition. So how do you accomplish that? IDX website, email marketing campaigns, Facebook retargeting, Google partner networks, right? So how does all of that work?
John,
Yes.
before you change that screen, if you would, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
All right.
Instead of client acquisition, what would you say to the club about member acquisition?
Member, yeah,
If we took that and spun it into a strategic plan,
100%.
what would you say to that? And what would you say about Rotary?
No
and
problem.
our
Not-
need for members?
Not an issue.
Insert content here, you know, and which is what me and Steve have been. We've actually talked about doing something like that. He put me on the marketing committee, so I'm definitely planning on rolling out on some of this stuff for the club. But yeah, so insert close here. You know, whatever it is you're trying to do. You know, for me it's a signed contract. Whatever, you know, for the club it's a new member coming to lunch with us. You know. All right. So I'm going to show you the back end of Facebook. So here is my business ads account, right? There's a couple of things I do. So you're flowing everybody into the top of your funnel, right, which lands them into my CRM, which is my customer relations management system, which I have a database of 2,200 people, right? Who do you call? You know, who are you supposed to call, right? I always say the people that are engaging with you. So every time someone goes onto my website and starts browsing, I get a text message that that person's browsing my website. If it happens frequently, they're probably a hot prospect and I should give them a call, right? And then when I'm
Where does
looking,
that show, on the properties portion of it?
so when I
It
look
says
at,
views?
so when I look into here, I can look at the properties and I can see the number of properties that they've been viewing. If they've favorited any properties, I can see all of that. And I actually sell people on the website. You know, it's like, look, it's an IDX feed to the MLS. You log into here, the information's better, and I can see what you're doing. So when you come to the point where you're making that buy, you're at that close, I've done all of my research on you all the way through the whole process. I know all the homes you like already. And we haven't even talked to each other on the phone yet. You know? So creating those items of value and knowing what they are in advance, you know? So I put you on an email drip campaign giving you listing alerts for the marketplace in the area that you're searching. So the market's creating the content for me to create emails to send out. So user-generated content is big, right? On a club level, what's our user-generated content? What about all of the, doing just a quick selfie video of us at the Thanksgiving drive? We could do a series of videos leading up to that drive. And then we could embed those videos into an email campaign and send it out to our database. And then we can see who's opening those emails, who's engaging with that content, and then now I'll go into the Facebook retargeting. You can embed that video so when they click on the video and the email, it drives them to a landing page. And then on that landing page, on the back end, you have Facebook pixel code, which is this right here. I click on that and it gives me a code. I download that on the back end of the website. Every person that goes onto that website now is going to get a cookie downloaded into their web browser. So when they come back to Facebook, or they go to CNN, or they go to whatever ad platform, anywhere that has an ad platform to buy, I'm buying it. And my face is going to be there, or the Rotary Club is going to be there in that ad space. Because you've been engaging with my content, and that cookie's telling that ad platform that you belong to my audience. So just like when you go to Amazon and you're looking at a pair of shoes, and it follows you around the internet, I do that with my face, and I can do that with Rotary Club. Or you can do that with your business, however you want to do it. The whole goal is you're creating your ecosystem, and you're keeping everybody in it. And you're not letting your competition take what's yours. They're yours. They're engaging with you. They're interested with you. You keep them in, and then that's how you do it. You can also upload a customer file. So I could take that 2,200 people. I can extract it from my CRM, which I have organized by group. So where I met them, how I met them, I have them organized by group, and I can pull that CSV, that Excel spreadsheet, out by group. So if I met you at Rotary Club, if I met you at 195 East Main Street, which is the property that I just showed you, if I met you at that open house, I can extract that and put it into Facebook organized that way. Next time I have to sell a house that is similar to that one, I can boost that house to that specific audience. Because at one point in time you were interested in that, right? So you can get extremely, extremely granular with this. And this is just with my information. Facebook's got a whole database of information on you.
Yeah.
And you're just giving it to them. So.
But we could easily do this with our club's Facebook page.
Yeah, it's a good thing that we just want to help hungry kids, right? Or give them a dictionary or the Monument Project, and then back on the user-generated content, what's a better piece of item of value than Kevin talking about the Rotary Project? I mean, the Monument Project.
But you buy ad time from Facebook to start,
Yeah.
right?
I wanna learn.
That's the start.
Yeah, so,
Then you build on
no,
that.
the start is building your relationships and having your database. So if you can run lead capture campaigns, get those people in, and then with the pixel code, so if somebody goes onto your landing page and then doesn't click on the call to action, that's called a custom conversion. So I can say to Facebook, all right, Facebook, I want to drive this traffic to this page, and I want to create an audience of people who went to the page and didn't take an action, and then I want to create a separate audience of people who landed on this page and took the action.
Wow. God.
So, and then you can run separate content campaigns
To be
for each of those audiences,
Ooh.
right? Now that's not even, that's just, so then you can go into engagements, right? I can target you so when like I was saying to you about who do you call when you have a database like that? Who do you call when you're marketing like this? All right, so do you think someone that has viewed 2 seconds of your video is less valuable than somebody that's seen 50% of your video? Right, they might be a little bit more interested in what you have to say. You can separate them out. You can separate it out by 1 minute, 2 minutes, 50%, 75, however you want to do it. I could also do it based off of the people, so Facebook has their own lead capture. The landing page I showed you is one I built, but Facebook has it where you don't even have to leave the platform. It puts you on their lead capture page and you stay within Facebook. And it takes the information from your Facebook account, puts it in there, so all you have to do is hit send. You don't have to input it. So I could go, all right, Facebook, I want to create an audience of those people. I want to create an audience of the people that clicked, landed there, and then didn't convert. Then Facebook page, anybody who's engaging with my content. So if you just visited my Facebook page, you don't even need to like it. You don't even need to like it. You just land on it. I can target you. You know, Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram. So I have an Instagram account, and I cross post between everything, and I can now target you if you've engaged with me on Instagram, different demographic. LinkedIn's another demographic. You know. So, and then there's even more. There's like that's just. Then you have Google AdWords, which I'm just starting to mess around with. Their network, their affiliated network. I forget what I called it. It's the Google Partner Network. That's like Pandora. So now I can push my ads when you're listening to music on Pandora, or if you're playing a video game or whatever on your Android phone. You know, they have all those little banner ads that come across. Yeah, you can buy that ad space through the Google Partner Network.
So,
Yeah. Well, all right. So I'm just
Keep
gonna. I'll
going.
wrap it up and then I'll open it up to the floor.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole goal of all this, right, is in sales, right? Zillow, Realtor.com, all those baited sites, right? What do they do? That you give them your information and they sell it, right? That's everybody, all the salespeople on the planet, all the realtors in the world. They're going after this, right? And they're all competing on Zillow and Realtor.com at $60 a lead, right? Some people spending $1,200 a month for that, which is insane to me. When every person you meet and talk to is a potential lead, you just get them into your system, and eventually they'll convert. You know, where social media and digital marketing is you're going after the 1 year plus. So by the time they move their way down in, you've got them, and then there's no competition here anymore for you. It's a much slower long term. It's building a real relationship, you know, but when it comes down in, after time of you doing it for so long, at least I'm doubling down everything I have on that, so hopefully I'm right. Yeah, so questions? All right.
so I love it.
All right.
I love the whole idea. So there's a lot of concern about Facebook,
Why is that?
about privacy, and
So
now
I don't
now
have-
you've just blown away any privacy thoughts I ever had.
Yeah, no,
and
there's no such thing as privacy.
right. Well, but you're building your whole idea on Facebook, and it's
It's not
ancillary.
just Facebook.
But because they're all linked anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're obviously not concerned about that. And
Well,
what is
so here's the thing, right? This is opt-in advertising, right? I'm not advertising to you unless
Right.
you've engaged with me in some way and I feel that you're interested. And then if you haven't given me your content, I have no way of reaching out to you or even knowing who you are. I'm just sending out my content that I hope is valuable, that will provide you with enough value, right? That Facebook's going to help me determine, you know, who the consumers are that might be interested in that content. Because Facebook's trying to do two things, and all of these platforms are trying to do two things. They're trying to make money, and then they're trying to increase user time on their platform. So they actually reward advertisers from pushing content that's most relevant to the audience that they're advertising to. And if you're pushing, you know, less relevant content to an audience, your ad spend is actually going to increase. So it's who of you to put out relevant, good content to the right people that are actually interested in that. And in my opinion, that's only improving the customer experience and the products that you have access to. I bought so that backpack is it's a Kickstarter campaign, right? So it's user funded and like a user think tank, and the whole thing was designed online, and the company just took based off of surveys, right? So I also have another Kickstarter in there, and it's the productivity planner, and I'm annoyed that I didn't wait for Facebook's pixel algorithm to catch up, because once I started looking at journals online that I wanted, there was some other really cool other ones that I wish I had waited for so that I could have bought. You know what I mean? So it's just like, why is it a bad thing that you're getting exposed to these people that are doing that? You know, and then they don't know who you are until you raise your hand.
Yeah, so quick comment to remind everybody is we were to say you're either on the grid or you're off the grid. As soon as you're on and you do something as simple as buying one little thing, you're in there. If you're going to get hit with advertising, better to get hit with relevant
Right.
content.
Yeah.
So by giving them information, you we have to stop in this society looking at that our information is being stolen and privacy. They're going to hit you with stuff. You know, we've made careers out of this. Better to get hit with relevant content, because the content producers like us certainly don't want to generate material that you don't want to look at. We would much rather have the stuff steered toward the audience. I see this as a way to take content and getting relevant information to the right audience. The question was, why don't you explain real briefly about hashtags?
Hashtags, sure. So when you're on, really the platforms that this works on is Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. So what a hashtag does is it categorizes your information. Why is it doing that? Oh. So on Internet Explorer, they don't have the cookies downloaded yet, so LinkedIn didn't recognize who I was. But on Google, I haven't cleared my cookies, so it recognizes who I am. So everybody thinks cookies are a bad thing, and they can be, but they also improve your user experience, and it makes your life a little bit easier. And it also improves the relevancy of the content that you're getting when you're on these platforms as well. So like, it's not a bad thing. It's you know, legitimate people use this stuff, you know? So hashtagging, so see how it says I have no hashtags that I'm following right here? So when you put a hashtag on a post, you're categorizing that post with that type of content. So hashtag real estate, hashtag Rotary, which is actually a really big one. I was at the Rotary Club meeting, you know, that you saw that post that I put up. I posted with a hashtag on Instagram. The second I did that, Rotary came in and reshared it and liked the post.
15 seconds later.
15 seconds later. And then it boosted its relevancy on Instagram, and I got in front of like 200 people off of that one post, just on Instagram. And that's just me on my platform. I mean, imagine if everybody in the room did that, you know? So that's what hashtagging does, you know, it categorizes that content and it shows you where the things go, you know? Like Middletown Works, right? Hashtag United Way. I bet you there's somebody in the national corporate level that would recognize that hashtag and reshare it and boost the relevancy
Or
of that
working
content.
cities, hashtag working cities, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so show how the relevant, you know, you're in one hashtag and you'll see 30 others that are related.
Yeah, okay, so I think
Sometimes
that,
people post like 20, so like.
so on Instagram you're allowed a limit of 30. You're allowed a limit of 30. And how I determine which hashtags to use is I go to a website called Display Purposes. Displaypurposes.com, and I type in what I want. So real estate. Right, and then it brings up all the relevant hashtags. So real estate is the number one top performing hashtag in that category. And then it brings up every other hashtag, and it shows you, you know, how this is a 99% relevancy, and it has a 69% popularity. Right, I can just go over here, copy mode, boom, copy it, and then I put that in with my post. That's simple. So I'm not thinking about it.
This is so good for old people like me, really.
Yeah.
Because I realize how valuable it is also to not only attract new members and all that, but for the.
But to engage with the club
And
and
beyond that,
like and.
as an old public librarian, I just comment, please, for me, for my sake, how a public library could use this.
I mean, I think I saw at the public library over here. What's the name of it? Russell Library, right? Yeah, I know. I'm aware of the connection. And they did this passport. You could go get your free passport done, and there was like a 2-hour window that you could do it. Why wasn't that all over Instagram, and why weren't you recording that going on? Remember, you are your best content. You don't need to recreate the wheel here. You know, the person who's the head of the library, she talks so passionately, and she's funny too. Because I went to the Central Business Bureau meeting, and she was everybody was getting on the chief of police's. They were all busting him up, and then she gets up and then she hits him hard right before she goes into what she was going to say. And it was hilarious. That personality, being at the Russell Library, I mean, why wouldn't you boost that? Why wouldn't, like, these are social platforms. People want to build relationships, and they promote the human aspect of things. So promote the human aspect of things.
Okay.
Yeah. On all brands, not just the library. Anybody else?
Thanks.
Yeah.
I had another question.
All right.
So what's your success rate from all of this?
So
2
that-
years of investment.
Yeah, so, well, 6 months of that I was on an internship, then I became a realtor after that, then, you know, I was renovating my house, I went full-time in July. So according to the National Association of Realtors, you can expect to sell 2 houses a year in the first 2 years, so 4 houses. I've sold 10, and this is a cold marketplace.
You sold 10
So-
in 6 months? Or just
I've
over?
sold, yeah, so in the first year I sold 2, which was just by accident, to be honest with you. I wasn't really marketing myself. And then I sold, so I went full-time in July, and then from July until the end of the year I sold 7, and I've got 3 pending right now and more in my pipeline moving forward.
Wow, that's
So-
fantastic.
That's great.
Awesome job.
Woo!